Hello, and welcome to my channel, which I'm apparently now calling Axel Cross. I kind of just made that up. I didn't entirely make it up. I did a little bit of looking up some different names. For the longest time, I've experimented with trying to come up with alternative names for myself, and I think I just kind of have this problem where like nothing ever sounds good because I'm not used to it. So I just picked a new one, and we'll see if this one sticks around. I also created this one because I wanted to change my channel name away from my actual name because I don't want my friends to be able to find it very easily. So it's also partly for that reason, but I think I'll also just stick with it. And over time, it's kind of a joke, but maybe it'll grow on me. Maybe I'll like it. Axel comes from, I think it's a Norwegian origin, but it translates something to the effect of, actually should have looked that up. When I was reading about it, I really liked it. It had something to do with like peace or something along those lines. And then Cross is a German origin last name, which just means curly hair, and I have curly hair, so it's fitting, right? I also should put up the slide. There's a slide where I'm talking about, voila, my new channel name. And I'm just gonna stick with that for now. This video is a follow-up to my previous video. In my previous video, I was kind of expressing some frustrations, and at the time of recording the video, I knew that I was frustrated, but I was a little uncertain with regards to what it was specifically I was actually frustrated with. And the next morning, I woke up and I was driving to work, and I think I had some kind of deeper realizations about what it was that was frustrating me. So that's what this is about. This is just kind of me reflecting on the other day, me getting kind of frustrated. And yeah, so get right into it. So these are just random notes that I took the other day after I got back from work, and I'm just going to read them and talk about them. So, slide 1. When I get frustrated, I go kind of hopeless cheaty on myself and those around me. I get frustrated for similar reasons to cheaty, actually. Thank the Lord for art and cinema. So, there are a few things to unpack here. First, I've been watching The Good Place with my roommate Benji for a while, and I love it. I started watching that in Lithuania. I'm not going to get into that though. I love The Good Place. I think it's an incredible show. I think there are a lot of really interesting things about the ideas I messed around with in there. But all that aside, Chidi is one of the characters in the show, and as much as I have never really felt like I related to him as a character, as I reflect on things I get frustrated with in life, there's definitely a lot of Chidi that kind of comes out in me. And one of those things is kind of this like idealism I have, and I get frustrated when that idealism is messed with. So like in The Good Place, a lot of times Chidi gets stuck because he has to make a decision that's complicated and he doesn't know which to pick because he wants to be able to make the perfect decision. And as much as I don't get nearly as paralyzed in the overblown way they portray it in the show, there's definitely a really big part of me that responds that way to a lot of things in my life, where I get really frustrated because I'm trying to like maximize things in some capacity, or I'm trying to create some perfect ideal situation and I can't, and it really gets to me. So when it does get to me, I kind of there's an episode in the 3rd season of The Good Place. Actually, I'm going to insert that here. Here is the part I'm talking about.
And now, I'm gonna eat my marshmallow candy chili in silence, and you all can jump up your own butts.
Is that gonna be on the test?
Yes, and no, and you all get A's or F's, and there is no test, and you all failed it, and you all got A's. Who cares?
So, as you can see, Chidi was very hopeless, and there's a part of me that like goes that crazy when I get frustrated. Like, I was explaining this to my sister yesterday, but I kind of like alternate between trying really, really hard and just completely giving up. But not in this like permanent giving up kind of sense, but this like willful, intentional letting go of even trying to do anything for a moment in time to kind of like reset myself. Because I have this fear of pretending like I'm trying. So it's like I have to get myself to a place where I know that I'm obviously not trying because I've completely given up on trying, so that I can then turn back around and go back into a mode of trying, but actual trying, and not this making myself feel like I'm trying while I'm also not really actually doing anything that would take me on a path to what I'm trying to achieve. So yes, I just thought that scene was hilarious, and that was just something I want to talk about. And then the last part, thank the Lord for art and cinema, it's kind of super random, but I was talking to my brother Joseph the other day, and funny enough, we were also having a conversation about feeling hopeless, or like what it's like to feel hopeless. And he was talking about how he recently finished the Clone Wars, and the ending to that made him kind of feel this sense of hopelessness. And however it goes, I just kind of had this moment of appreciating in the depths of my heart how much I have grown to just love art and literature and cinema as I've become an adult, because of how deep and profound it can be, and how much it can like help us reflect on what we're experiencing in our lives, even though it's through these stories of these made up characters sometimes. So yeah, I just think art is incredible. A pattern of my life is that has been that a chaotic rush forward seems to be my best mode of operation. Carefully moving forward makes me like paralyzed Cheaty, and I get nowhere. So kind of off of the last slide, something I have noticed about myself for all of my life is that I actually tend to get really far when I just kind of like stop thinking about it and just go for it. And being a very analytical person, kind of like Cheaty, I have a hard time allowing myself to do that, because I feel like if I think about it right, or if I plan it right, I could make it happen. But the reality is that my best mode of operation actually tends to be just kind of chaotically running forward. And I think part of why I don't accept that is because nobody around me has ever accepted that. If I ever try to tell somebody that my best mode of operation is kind of chaotically running forward, I feel like they just give me a funny look, or be like, yeah, okay, you know, you think that works for you, but it doesn't actually. And I don't know if I've ever even tried to convince anybody that that's how I work best. But there's certainly a level where my entire life, every time I have attempted to try to force myself to be disciplined, it goes absolutely nowhere. And anytime I just like fixate myself on something that I'm really excited about, and I don't spend very much time thinking about how to make it work, but I just kind of run forward and take things as they come, using my intuition to solve problems as I come to them, I tend to get really far. And sometimes it feels so scary and risky and almost reckless, but so much of the time it feels like it's worked. And I think that maybe as I get older, I'll have to like be careful about not being too risky, but there's still a level where I feel like being fully in the lane of like careful, calculated steps forward is never going to be me. I might work on a team one day where people can do that for me, but I think that I move forward when I'm just kind of all over the place running forward. As long as I'm running forward and I'm thinking about what I'm doing while I'm doing it, and I'm learning a shit ton along the way. But like, if I stop to think about where I'm trying to go and make a plan to get there, it never works. And it just shuts me down. It kills my energy. I get frustrated. And then, you know, frustrated Cheaty comes out and I go kind of all crazy. And then Benji has to put up with really annoying late night Nehemiah who's feeling frustrated and hopeless. God bless that man, even though I don't believe in God. Anyway, one of the biggest themes of my life has been humility, and one of the biggest themes of my adult life has been learning assertiveness. One of the biggest themes of my life has been... Wait, I pasted that twice. Whatever, who cares? This might seem like kind of a strange thing to say, and someday I definitely want to make a video on my thoughts on humility, or maybe they're not really that profound and a lot of people have said the same thing. But at least in contrast to what seems to normally be culturally understood, especially within a Christian context, I think that this whole idea that you can't call yourself a humble person is a misunderstanding of what humility actually even is. And I've spent a lot of time thinking about this. And I would say that there are two kinds of humility. I'm not going to explain them right now, though, because that's not what this video is for. My point here is that my whole life, and this is tying into a little bit of my like idealism, I have just been such, like, it's just so deeply me to be like genuine and honest and open about who I am and what I think, and have been so adamant about like being truthful and representing what's true, not just about myself but about anything. And due to that, I just like, I want to know what's actually real. I don't hold on to things because I think that they're right, or for like self-preservation or self-image. Like, I've never done that. I can't remember a time in my life when I've ever done that. I have only ever really cared about trying to find out what's true. And the problem that I'm facing as a young adult is that for most of my life, it was actually a very valid and useful model to not trust myself, but rather to trust other people, especially people who are older than me. Because when you're growing up, most people who are older than you understand a lot more about the world than you do. And as a young child, if you're trying to trust your own understanding rather than the understanding of wise and mature adults, which is definitely not all adults, but there are wise and mature adults who have the capacity to teach you way more if you're willing to like open yourself up and learn from them, rather than thinking that somehow as a child or a teenager you understand better than they do. And becoming a young adult has been really hard, because I think part of why I adopted that model wasn't only because it was useful and working and helping me learn a lot about the world, but it was also largely in part to the fact that I don't like conflict and I don't like disagreeing with people. I like there to be peace between people. And my desire for truth and my desire for peace have worked together to create peace in certain areas and situations, and they have completely caused all-out war in certain situations and sometimes inside of me. And as an adult, I think it's been more of a war inside of me, where I hate the fact that I have to trust myself and not trust other people, because everybody goes around so overconfident. Everybody thinks that they understand how the world works with their overblown egos and self-serving bias, and just like so deeply entrenched in our, automatic psychological processes which make us want to believe what we've seen and what we've heard, and to dismiss what should logically be considered more trustworthy. And I just get so frustrated, and like it's this war inside of me, because in my logical brain I figure things out and I know what will work, like the fact that it works better for me to rush forward in a kind of chaotic, passionate way rather than trying to be like careful and calculated, but I won't commit to it because I'm afraid of like going against what other people who know better than me might say that I should be doing. And I guess I'm getting to a point where I'm just like in the car the other day as I was driving to work, in my mind I was just thinking like, fuck everybody, fuck stupid society, fuck all the stupid rules where everybody says that they know best. Like, I just want to start trusting myself, and I want to stop frustrating myself because I'm unwilling to trust myself on the chance that somebody else might know better than me. It's just like fuck trusting other people. I will one day find people who are trustworthy, but for the time being, it's like if I have a gut feeling about something, I should just follow it and stop second guessing myself. Who cares if people get mad? Who cares if people think that I'm stupid for what I'm doing? I don't care. Fuck other people's opinions. I'm gonna do what I know and understand to the best of my ability, and when it doesn't work, I will learn and I will know even better what actually doesn't work. But goodness, I have tried so many more things than most people will, or have, and I'm gonna keep trying, and that's how I'm gonna learn. I'm not gonna get answers from other people. I'm gonna get answers from going out and trying things and seeing what works. And if I die along the way, who cares? My life is my life, and I'd rather be risky and take chances and for it to be exciting and full of life and to learn stuff than to live in my room my whole life with the door shut because I was afraid of messing up or of getting hurt. So, anyway. Stories from Nehemiah's young life. It's the most ironic and ridiculous thing for anyone to accuse me about being stubborn about my thoughts or being stuck on trying to be right. I basically already covered that, so I'm not going to explain it more. But basically, If you think that I'm just trying to be right, that I'm being stubborn, fuck you. My attempts to become disciplined, yeah. So basically, I think that most of my attempts to become disciplined have failed because I've tried to be organized rather than intuitive. So from now on, I'm going to try to trust myself more and be more intuitive. And also, I don't know if one of the slides is going to get into this, but I think that with my whole channel, I'm going to go that way. I'm going to go intuitive. This whole channel starting out, fuck being successful. Fuck making it work. I'm not here to have a successful YouTube channel. I'm here to learn. I'm here to learn from myself, from my own reflections. I'm here to learn through like experience and figuring out what kind of videos I like to make. I don't know what kind of videos I want to make. Why would I commit to a certain style this early on? So I'm just going to make a ton of different random ass videos about like, I'll make Lego videos and psychology videos and philosophy videos, and I'll just make a ton of videos and they'll all be really bad because I'll be at the beginning, and who cares? I'm going to have fun doing it, and that's all that really matters. And at some point, if I keep at it and I'm enjoying it and I like doing it, hopefully I'll find something a little more streamlined or something a little bit more like steady that I consistently enjoy making videos about, and that will turn into a YouTube channel at some point that might replace my day job. But for the time being, I love my new job so far. 3 days in, who knows, that might change. But it's going good right now. I feel good about my job. I think I'm going to like it for a while. I have basically an entire year almost to just like do whatever I want in my not working time, and I want to make just a ton of videos. I'm going to do it, okay? Anyway, next slide. The thing about my thoughts on truth and opinions, basically anything. What works? Literally, why? Yes. 100%. Literally, this is why people arguing about what is true and not true makes me so frustrated. Speak for yourself. I'm committed to testing and seeing what works and giving up anything that doesn't. Like literally, I just want to be happy. I just want to not be frustrated. I just want to not feel guilty all the time. I want to wake up in the morning and feel good about my life. Literally, that's all I want. And when people come in and they're like, oh no, you're doing it wrong, or oh no, I'm right and you're wrong, I'm like, I don't give a fuck, okay? Like literally, I don't. If you have an idea about how life could be lived so that human beings fulfill their potential or their purpose or what they were created for or what they want, tell me about it. That's what I'm looking for. But like, don't just give me a bunch of bullcrap and then pretend like you just know that it's true. It's like, show me. If you're gonna walk in the room and be like, oh, like, clap your lights and the lights will come off. And then I try it and it doesn't work, and then you're like, oh, well, like, you didn't do it right. It's like, fucking shut up. Don't tell me that it's gonna work unless you're gonna tell me every step of the way that I would have to take to actually make it work. And if you don't know all the steps, or you can't show that it'll actually work or that it's actually legitimate, I don't care. I'll just figure it out on my own. I don't need people to give me answers. What I need is people to teach me. And if you're not here to teach me and help me learn something that'll actually work, and you can't prove with some kind of like consistency or data or research that what you're talking about is actually relevant to what it means to be a human being and what I should do with my life, I don't care what your opinion is about God or about life or about career or about money or about relationships. I just don't, okay? So done with everybody's opinions about everything. Everyone just wants to fight to preserve their self-image, and they're sitting around frustrated and unhappy and they hate their lives. But man, you know, they know that they're right. Well, good for you. I don't care. Kind of a personal example was leaving the faith. I used to be a Christian. Now I'm not a Christian. And I'm kind of hesitant to say that I'm atheist, maybe because it just has such a negative connotation. And on one side, I don't want it to have a negative connotation, but at the same time, I don't like the connotation that, like, it asserts that I know that something is true. Again, fuck knowing what's true. It's not about having an answer. It's about, like, what are we here for? What are we trying to do? And what is our best understanding of how to get there? So, like, you know, I don't need to claim some identity over what I believe about the existential reality of the world. It's like, I'm just a fucking human being. That's what I am, okay? I'm not an atheist. I'm not a Christian. I'm a fucking human. I'm just trying to figure out what to do with my life and how to not be sad at the end of the day. Anyway. Okay. I am so fucking sick and tired of being held captive, being gullible and believing and following other people who act like they know. Fuck them and fuck my stupid resistance for following what I know is true. This is the war going on inside of me all the time, and it gets me really frustrated. And saying fuck helps me feel more assertive and helps me to take myself more seriously, to trust myself, and that's why I keep saying fuck. Honestly, when I was starting, I was gonna like, oh no, don't use bad language because, you know, YouTube doesn't monetize those videos. Well, fuck YouTube. I'm gonna say whatever the fuck I want, because that's how I need to be to feel safe with myself, to say what I actually want. And fuck anybody who has any problems with me talking however I need to make it work, okay? Okay. I need to stop looking for others for answers and use my incredible mind to keep learning and growing. Because I have an absolutely incredible mind. I am still humble. Wow, that was everything. I think that still took a little bit of time. It felt very fast. I definitely need to get to bed. I have not been going to bed on time. I've been going to bed late and not getting full night's rest and showing up to work tired. But it's okay. I'll get to bed at a pretty good time tonight. I don't know if anybody's actually even ever going to watch this, but like if you were here and you listened to that whole rant, cool. Maybe you related to some of it. I hope it's encouraging. I'm extremely excited for what I might have coming up after this. Like, I have a growing confidence in myself. These reflections are really helping me figure out like the path that I know I need to take to be excited about what I'm doing. Probably not going to have consistent videos from here on out. I'm just going to make videos when I have ideas. I'm going to pick an idea and then I'm going to make it. And then I'll get another idea and then I'll make that. And I'm going to forget trying to like reach any kind of audience or have any kind of consistency, whether it's consistent time of week or consistent theme in the videos. It's like, I'm just going to stick to trying to just keep it simple, where I just like, I'll pick an idea. Like I'll have an idea, like I want to make a Lego step animation video that's like 5 minutes long. That's like a psychology joke skit kind of thing. Great. For the next week, I'll just like sit around and I'll try to come up with an idea and then I'll make it. And I don't care how good or bad it is. I'm just going to make it. And after I make it, I'll pick a different video that I want to make and then I'll try that too. A lot of the videos along the way might just be me explaining things, but like that's fine. And this is good verbal processing. So yes, I don't need to justify shit to nobody because I am fucking Axel Cross now. I'm going to get used to saying that. And yeah, this is my YouTube channel. I'm going to be free from my insecurities someday, kind of. I'm going to be free of other people's stupid fucking opinions. I'm going to become a more assertive adult human being who follows his own heart and his intuitions because I'm fucking great at analyzing and understanding the world. And fuck anybody who thinks that I'm not. Fuck anybody who thinks that I'm not humble. Fuck anybody who thinks that I'm arrogant. Good for fucking you. Think whatever you want about me. I don't care. I just don't want to be sad at the end of the day. And if you don't want to be sad at the end of the day, great. Let's work together to find out how we can enjoy our lives together rather than fighting, having stupid fucking opinions. Okay. Anyway, it's funny. I said the last video was a rant. I feel like this was more of a rant. But, you know, it's fine. Rants are fine. I'm becoming more assertive, and that's a good thing. Oh yeah, also, I'm going to make rap videos. Of some kind. Who knows? I'm also going to make a video about why I love Eminem so much. Give you a hint. It has something to do with assertiveness. Okay, so my heart's racing. I should be done. The video's long enough. Thanks for joining me. And that's the end of the video. Goodbye.